This seriously might be one of the best cold weather fragrances. So let's review Zimaya Sharaf blend. Hey, what's good guys? Hunter here and welcome back to the channel where I upload weekly fragrance contests. You already know the drill. Hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss any future videos. And make sure to follow me over on my Instagram page. But today guys, we are reviewing a fragrance from the house of Zimaya, which if you didn't know is actually a sub-brand or sister companies to Afnan. And as we all know, Afnan just pumps out bangers when it comes to fragrances, guys. So definitely had high hopes with Zimaya Sharaf blend, and guys, it absolutely lived up to those hopes because this right here, like I said, is a cold weather banger. And when you look at this bottle here, you might be thinking of something, but guys, do not let that deceive you because it's not what it seems. But I do want to shout out Zimaya for sending this one over for review. Of course, that's not going to change my opinions on this fragrance. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. And I'm always going to keep it completely honest with you guys. But I did actually hook you guys up with a discount code. You can go over to the website Zimaya and use code HUNTER15 to save 15% off of either Sharaf blend or anything else on the website. And these fragrances are very affordable. So without further ado, let's go over some information. Now, Sharaf blend was actually launched in 2023, so it is actually a fairly new release. Retail price on the only size this comes in, which is the 100 ml like I have in hand, is going to go for $40, guys. But even if you use my discount code HUNTER15, that's going to drop it down to around maybe $34, which is just crazy for the kind of fragrance and the quality you're getting with Sharaf blend. The concentration with this is actually an extrait de parfum, which means you are getting the highest perfume oils used in a fragrance. So they didn't even really skimp out on the oil concentration either, which is great. The perfumer behind this is unknown. I tried to do some research, but that's usually the case with these Arabic houses like Afnan, Latafa, Zimaya, etc. They don't usually list the perfumer, but whoever it is did a fantastic job with this blend here. With all the information out of the way, let's look at the packaging and presentation you get with Zimaya Sharaf blend now. So take a look at the box, which is easily one of the most beautiful boxes for the price you're gonna get, guys. I love the presentation. Of course, Sharaf blend by Zimaya, extrait de parfum 100 ml. Right on the side it says signature blend, enrich your senses, which is definitely the case. On the bottom, some information as well as a barcode and batch code to authenticate your product to see when it was produced. Nothing on the side. On the back as well, just Sharaf blend by Zimaya. And then on top you have Zimaya as well, and your bottle is actually housed in this beautiful presentation that opens up like so, guys, with a magnet. Absolutely beautiful when it comes to the box. Let's look at the bottle now. So take a look at the bottle, which does of course look very similar to Angel Share or even Latafa Hamra, but guys, this one is absolutely mind-blowing when it comes to that presentation. Of course, on the front you do have this gold plaque, Sharaf blend by Zimaya, and there's no logos or nothing around the front, so it actually looks like a whiskey glass, which I love. On the bottom you will have your sticker with some of your information as well. It does open up like so. Nothing gets out of the cap. On top of the atomizer though, you do have Zimaya, this beautiful gold plate. And this bottle, guys, is so heavy, so sturdy, and just feels extremely high quality. I actually dropped this on my hardwood floor. It didn't even make a mark on it, guys. So beautiful bottle presentation as well as the box, guys. Absolutely love this, and it will look beautiful on anybody's shelf. At the top you have dates, nutmeg, and saffron. In the mid you have vanilla, praline, and tuberose. And in the base you have tonka bean, amberwood, benzoin, and musk. And this will be classified as a sweet gourmand. So let's spray this to test out these atomizers. Beautiful atomizer. Even though it's not pressurized, it does spray quite a bit of juice, which is always good for me. So let's go ahead and remind myself of Sharaf blend now. So this one opens up very high quality. You are going to get the dates right away, which do come across pretty sweet, almost honeyed-like, which I love when dates are used in fragrances, and you're going to get a nice dose of them immediately, along with some spices from the nutmeg and that spicy saffron. So this is going to open very spicy and a little bit sweet. And when comparing the opening to like Angel Share or Hamra, I actually think I prefer this one definitely over Hamra because it's not as sweet, not as synthetic smelling either. Like I said, this one smells extremely high quality and doesn't come across smelling cheap or anything along those lines. Now, making our way into the mid of Sharaf blend is where it starts to become very creamy, a little bit sweet as well from the vanilla, which just gives it a warm, spicy tone, along with that sweet, chocolatey praline note as well, which just go perfectly combined together. Thankfully though, I'm not getting much florals from that tuberose that is listed, just vanilla and praline centric through and through in the mid at least. Once you make your way into the base of Sharaf blend is where you're going to get this spicy gourmand tonka bean, which is one of the most dominant notes in the base, alongside this resinous modern amberwood and the sweet resinous benzoin note. So in the base, it's very spicy, gourmand, warm, and resinous. And I will say, if you do like Hamra, but maybe you thought it was a little bit too sweet for you, I think you much rather prefer Sharaf blend because it's less on the sweetness, a little bit more gourmand, spicy, and rich smelling to my nose. Or also not gonna really get any booziness, kind of like you find in Angel Share. So this is not a clone of Angel Share. I wouldn't even really say it's necessarily inspired by Angel Share either, besides the bottle design, because Angel Share is much more boozy, much more woody from like the oak barrels in there. I think this is much more similar to Hamra, but still sets itself apart from that fragrance completely. If you thought Hamra was too sweet, too synthetic, and maybe a little bit cheap smelling, definitely check out Sharaf blend because it definitely improves all those things that a lot of people weren't the biggest fan of with Hamra. So basically, this is a winter banger at a very affordable price and blows something like Lattafa's Hamra out of the water. Now for the best seasons to rock Sharaf blend. If you do pick a bottle up, which I highly recommend, especially at this price, the best seasons for me is going to be obviously the fall and winter primarily. I probably won't necessarily wear this one much in the summer or spring unless it's like a cold kind of spring evening if I'm going out to like a dinner and I want to smell like sexy and seductive, because this absolutely gives off that vibe. But yeah, primarily the colder weather, the fall and winter, when it's snowing outside or when you got the leaves on the ground, it's breezy. I think it just suits it the absolute best because of how gourmand, spicy, and sweet this one is. Now when it comes to occasion, I personally think this one does lean a little bit more on the formal side just because of the scent profile. It's a very kind of gives me more dressed up vibes rather than casual, even though it's the kind of fragrance you could dress down if you're going to like hang out with your buddies or going to the bar, etc. But I just picture somebody wearing like a nice button up, a suit, even a tuxedo even, because it gives me classy, kind of mature vibes without a doubt. And when it comes to gender as well, I think this is targeted as unisex. I don't think they target it towards men or women, which I can agree with. It does come across very unisex. However, if I had to choose, it's unisex leaning on the masculine side just because of the note breakdown, how it smells, the scent profile, etc. It does give off more masculine vibes than feminine. Even like the tuberose isn't really coming out or dominant at all in here. But I do personally know some women that love Angel Share and Hamra and do wear it all the time. So if you are that kind of person, you can absolutely rock it as well. I can totally see a woman wearing this. So for the ladies out there watching this, don't hesitate on picking this up if you love those spicy, kind of woody, resinous, sexy fragrances, because you can absolutely rock it. But for the boys as well, this is absolutely going to be for you. And then when it comes to age groups that I personally think rocks this one the best, it does definitely come across more mature rather than youthful. Hands down, there's nothing young, youthful, playful about this fragrance at all. Even though it is pretty sweet, it doesn't really necessarily have the booziness like Angel Share has. So it's a little bit more youthful than Angel Share, but still on the more mature side. However, if you are a little bit younger, maybe late teens, early 20s, mid 20s, etc., you can absolutely rock this one easily. If you are a little bit more mature, like a gentleman, maybe 30s and up, this is going to be perfect for you when it comes to a fragrance. Something about this scent when I smell it on the test strip here, guys, it just gives me somebody that has their life together, maybe a little bit more established, has something going for himself, know what he wants from life, etc. That's the kind of vibe that this gives. And of course, if you're in your teens, late teens, etc., that's not really going to be you per se. Unless you're just a young hustler and getting things done right away, then yeah, this could be for you. Now, wrapping the review off, talking on the performance you should expect from Sharaf blend, guys. Honestly, I was very impressed with the performance of this one. It is an extrait de parfum, and usually when fragrances are an extrait, I do put it up to like a certain standard to me, and it lived up to that standard because when it comes to the longevity, even on skin, I got 10 plus hours easily out of this one, which is going to be more than you're going to expect or get from something like Hamra or even Hamra Kawa and maybe even Angel Share. Just incredible longevity from this, guys. And if you spray on clothes, it's going to last a few days, even maybe a wash or two in the washer to completely get rid of it. You can tell this stuff is very dense. Just looking at that perfume oils in there, very, very heavy wearing fragrance. And when it comes to the projection as well, sometimes you have to have a takeaway when you have something good when it comes to like the longevity, because I did get about moderate projection, which means people around you will smell you if they're somewhat close to you, maybe about an arm's length of very good projection if you're standing still. And with the sillage, when you're walking around doing your thing throughout the day, the sillage it leaves behind is heavenly. It's gonna leave this very seductive, kind of gourmand, sweet trail behind you everywhere you go. And if you're walking, you got like a lady behind you and she smells this stuff, she's probably gonna approach you and ask you what you're wearing because you smell so good. And a lot of times that's usually the case. When you have an extrait, the projection usually isn't the best because what makes a fragrance project is the alcohol concentration. And when you have a higher perfume concentration, you have less alcohol concentration, so it usually sits a little bit closer to the skin. Obviously, it's not always the case. It definitely depends on the blend, the notes used, etc. But for being a spicy gourmand like this one, it does perform very, very good, and even maybe better than I certainly expected. No complaints at all. It's not necessarily going to be a complete room filler, nuclear beast mode projector, but it's going to get the job done when you need it. And especially if you're going on a date or something, your lady, you don't really want to choke her out. Maybe you want her to come a little bit closer to smell it completely. That's going to be the perfect situation with this. So that's going to do it for my review of Zimaya Sharaf blend, guys. Let me know down below if you've actually tried this beauty yet. If you do enjoy these kind of scent profiles with homme, angel share, etc., let me know that below. But I definitely do think this is one of the better takes when it comes to the spicy kind of gourmand sweet fragrances, and certainly one of the highest quality ones. But that's gonna do it for the review, guys. Leave a like on the video, subscribe below if you haven't already, and of course I'll catch all of you back here in my next upload. Take care, everybody.